Ever heard of Epictetus? He's not just another old Greek philosopher, he was a man who turned the tables of fate, transforming from a slave into one of the most influential thinkers of his time. Born in Hierapolis, Phrygia, present-day Turkey, around AD 55, Epictetus spent a significant portion of his life in Rome, enslaved to a secretary of Nero's brutal officer. Despite the harsh conditions of his early life, Epictetus didn't let his circumstances define him. After gaining his freedom, he emerged as a remarkable philosopher, becoming a leading figure of Stoicism, a school of philosophy renowned for its focus on personal ethics. Epictetus taught that philosophy is not merely a theoretical discipline, but a way of life, a means of understanding the world and our place in it. He emphasized that our happiness and unhappiness are determined not by external events, but by our responses to them. His philosophy rested on the principle of accepting reality as it is, rather than how we'd like it to be. This former slave made it clear that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. He urged us to focus on what's within our control, our judgments, impulses, desires, and aversions, instead of fretting over what's not. Epictetus's teachings are encapsulated in the Enchiridion, a manual for living, and the Discourses, a record of his lectures, both compiled by his student Arrian. These works have influenced countless individuals throughout history, from Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius to modern-day psychologists. Epictetus, the once enslaved man, taught us how to be free in our minds. His wisdom has endured through the centuries, serving as a beacon of light guiding us through the complexities of life. So let's delve deeper into the teachings of this remarkable philosopher, and explore how his timeless wisdom can help us navigate the challenges of the 21st century. Now, let's dive into one of Epictetus's most profound quotes. In his wisdom he tells us, "In this way you must understand how laughable it is to say, 'Tell me what to do.' No, a far better request is, 'Train my mind to adapt to any circumstance.' In this way, if circumstances take you off script, you won't be desperate for a new prompting." At first glance, this might seem like a simple statement, but as we peel back the layers we find a wealth of wisdom hidden in these words. Let's break it down together. Epictetus urges us to realize the absurdity of asking others to dictate our actions. He's challenging us to question the very notion of seeking external instructions to navigate our lives. But why is this laughable? It's because, as Epictetus suggests, it's not the specific actions that matter as much as our ability to adapt and respond to any circumstance. Now let's consider the second part of the quote. "Train my mind to adapt to any circumstance." This is where the heart of his philosophy lies. Epictetus is encouraging us to focus on developing our mental agility. He's prompting us to shift our attention from the exterior to the interior, from the physical to the mental. Why is this so significant? It's because life is unpredictable, filled with unexpected twists and turns. We can't always control the events that happen to us, but we can control how we react to them. This is the essence of adaptability. It's about being fluid and flexible, about learning to roll with the punches, about developing the resilience to bounce back from any setback. In the final part of the quote, Epictetus warns us about the perils of relying on a script, on a predetermined set of instructions. He's teaching us that life doesn't always go according to plan, and when it doesn't, if we're too attached to our script, we'll be left floundering, desperate for a new prompting. But if we've trained our minds to adapt, if we've cultivated mental agility, we won't be thrown off balance by the unexpected. We won't be desperately seeking a new script. Instead, we'll be able to improvise, to create a new path forward, to find our own way. So, in essence, what Epictetus is telling us is that it's not about seeking specific instructions. It's not about the what to do. It's about developing the ability to adapt, to respond with resilience and creativity to whatever life throws at us. It's about the how to think. And so, as we navigate the unpredictable journey of life, let's remember Epictetus's wisdom. Let's train our minds to adapt to any circumstance, to remain flexible and resilient in the face of change, to be open to the unexpected. In this way, we'll be well equipped to handle whatever comes our way, and we'll find that we're not just surviving life but truly living it. So it's not about the what to do but the how to think. You might be wondering, how does an ancient philosopher's quote apply to life in 2024? Well, it's surprisingly relevant. Epictetus's wisdom transcends time, and his teachings on adaptability are more pertinent today than ever before. We live in a world that's changing at a breakneck speed. Technological advancements, shifting societal norms, and global events are constantly reshaping the reality we once knew. This rapid pace of change can be unsettling, even overwhelming. But Epictetus reminds us that the key to navigating this evolving landscape is not to cling desperately to what was, but to adapt to what is and what could be. In fact, adaptability is not just a survival skill in our time, it's a fundamental requirement. As the philosopher himself would suggest, it's not about asking for a roadmap detailing every twist and turn of life's journey. It's about cultivating a mind that can adjust its course when the path unexpectedly shifts underfoot. This is particularly true in the face of stress and uncertainty, two elements that seem to have become staples of the 21st century. Instead of succumbing to the anxiety that change often brings, we can take a cue from Epictetus. We can train our minds to adapt, to be flexible, to embrace the unknown with curiosity rather than fear. Imagine how liberating it would be to face each new day, not as a rigid structure that must be adhered to, but as a fluid, dynamic canvas on which we can create our own masterpiece. No matter what life throws at us, we can adapt, adjust, and continue painting. And it's not just about dealing with the big shifts. Epictetus's wisdom applies to the everyday changes and challenges we face. From adjusting to a new job or a new city, to coping with the ups and downs of personal relationships, mental flexibility is the key. In a world full of change, Epictetus's wisdom guides us to adapt and thrive. It encourages us to step out of the comfort of the known and embrace the possibilities of the unknown. It challenges us to ask, not for instructions, but for the ability to adapt to any circumstance. And in doing so, it empowers us to live not just in the world of 2024, but in any world, at any time. Alright, we've understood the quote, but how do we put it into practice? Well, let's start with the first practical method, mindfulness exercises. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. This helps us to live in the moment and adapt to whatever circumstance we're in. A simple mindfulness exercise could be focusing on your breath for a few minutes each day, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Secondly, we can reframe challenges as opportunities. When faced with a difficult situation, instead of viewing it as a problem, see it as a chance to learn, to grow, and to prove your resilience. It's all about perspective. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Thirdly, practice the acceptance of things we cannot change. Not everything in life is within our control. The weather, traffic, other people's actions, these are all beyond our control. The key is to accept these uncontrollable aspects of life and focus on what we can control: our actions, our responses, our attitude. The fourth method is to cultivate a growth mindset. Believe in your ability to learn and adapt. Embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, see effort as the path to mastery. Remember, it's not about being the best, it's about becoming better. Fifth, practice daily reflection. At the end of each day, reflect on what went well, what didn't, and how you could have responded differently. This helps us to learn from our experiences and to make better choices in the future. Lastly, surround yourself with positive influences. The people we spend time with can greatly influence our mindset and our ability to adapt. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and help you to grow. Remember, it's not about changing the world but changing how we respond to it. So, start today. Practice these 6 methods and train your mind to adapt to any circumstance. So we've journeyed through the wisdom of Epictetus. Now it's time to take action. It's time to apply this ancient philosophy to the current year and beyond. Let's make this wisdom more than just a fleeting thought. We'd love to hear your thoughts about Epictetus and his quote. How did it resonate with you? Have you found a new perspective on life or perhaps a renewed sense of empowerment? And more importantly, how do you plan to implement these teachings in your day-to-day life? How will you train your mind to adapt to any circumstance, just as Epictetus suggests? Your insights could be the spark that ignites a flame in someone else's journey of self-improvement. So, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Let's start a conversation that can enrich us all. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights from the world of philosophy. Together we can learn, adapt, and grow.